are you doing, teacher? Do you need my help?
I am tidying up the cupboard, Turbo Girl. You can help me by arranging these buttons according to their colors.
Why do you have to group them according to their colors, teacher?
By arranging them this way, it will save me a lot of time finding a particular button in future.
In the previous lesson, we have learned how scientists classify living things. Now we are classifying non-living things.
Quick thinking, Turbo Girl. Non-living things can be classified according to their characteristics too.
Are there other ways of classifying non-living things?
Let's take a look. Non-living things such as these buttons are made of many different materials. Hence, we are able to classify them according to the properties of these materials. We can classify materials according to their electrical conductivity.
Electrical conductivity?
Electrical conductivity simply means the ability of a material to allow electricity to pass through.
This reminds me of conductors and insulators.
You are on the right path, Turbo Girl. Are you able to list for me some materials which are electrical conductors?
Let me see. Okay, I know. Copper and steel. They are electrical conductors. Am I right?
Yes, very good, Turbo Girl. What about electrical insulators?
If I remember correctly, materials such as rubber, wood, and glass do not allow electricity to pass through. Thus, they are electrical insulators.
Very good. Look at the items below. How would you group them based on their heat conductivity?
The metal spoon and the safety pin can be grouped together because both of them allow heat to pass through quickly.
Well done. The rest of the items are grouped under heat insulators as they conduct heat poorly. Now, Turbo Girl, arrange these spoons into groups based on their strength.
The porcelain spoons and the metal spoons will be in one group. The plastic spoons will be in another group.
Very good, Turbo Girl. Why do you group the spoons in this way?
I have placed these spoons together because they do not break easily. The plastic spoons are separated from them because they break rather easily.
Way to go, Turbo Girl. Indeed, we can classify materials based on their strengths. How about these dishes? Arrange them into groups based on their hardness.
How do I test their hardness, teacher?
One simple method. Which dish has scratch marks, Turbo Girl?
The styrofoam dish, teacher. Does this mean that the styrofoam dish is not as hard as the metal and glass dishes?
You are correct, Turbo Girl. By the way, what material is the fork made of?
It is made of plastic.
That's right. This experiment also tells us that plastic is harder than styrofoam.
But not as hard as metal and glass.
Very good. Now rub your fingers lightly against these few items. Tell me how you feel.
The rope is rough. The pebble is smooth. The writing paper is smooth. And the sponge is rough. I know, we can group them based on their texture.
Very clever. Look at the items. Can you guess how they are grouped?
I think they are grouped based on the amount of light which is able to pass through them.
You are absolutely right. They are grouped based on their transparency.
Hey, teacher. There are two plastic sheets here.
Look closely, Turbo Girl.
Both of them look similar.
Test their flexibility by bending each of them, Turbo Girl.
I can't bend this. They are made of different materials.
The sheet which has a greater flexibility is actually a plastic sheet. The other one is actually a glass sheet.
Ah, we can classify materials such as these two sheets according to their flexibility as well.
Looks like you are getting a hang of it. Try the following activity. Now, are you able to classify these items based on their magnetic properties?
I know. These are made up of materials that have magnetic properties. They can be attracted to magnets. Am I right, teacher?
That's right. You know, Turbo Girl, some materials can also be classified based on their buoyancy.
Buoyancy?
It simply means whether the material sinks or floats when it is placed in water. For example, materials such as wood will float on water, while materials such as iron will sink in water.
Let me experiment with more materials. So my classification chart will look like this.
Excellent. Look at the windows of the two houses, Turbo Girl. How are they different from each other?
These windows are made of tinted glass, while the others are not.
Very observant. Can you guess why the owner of this house used tinted glass for the windows?
Probably to prevent sunlight from entering the house.
Another possibility is to prevent people from looking into the house.
Oh yes, it could be.
How about the frying pans over here? Some parts are made of steel and some parts are made of plastic. Why is that so?
I know. The pans are made of steel so as to allow the heat to travel faster, thus food can be cooked more easily. The handles are made of plastic because they are able to insulate heat, thus preventing our hands from being scorched while cooking.
That's right, Turbo Girl. Different materials have different properties that make them suitable for making into certain objects.
Wow, there are so many ways we can classify materials.
Can you list out some of them?
Materials can be classified based on their electrical conductivity, heat conductivity, strength, hardness, texture, transparency, flexibility, magnetic properties, as well as their buoyancy.
Good memory! Not to forget that by knowing the properties of various materials, we are able to choose the most suitable materials to make into things.
I will remember that, teacher. Now I have to consider which material to use for my pencil holder.